Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Knit Sip Happy. My name is Nancy. I am a knitter, spinner, stitcher, craft lover. I live in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada, which is right on the Atlantic coast, so beaches are close. I am here today to talk to you about my knitting. I had a little vacation, so there's going to be a little vacation news spam photos happening as well. I've got a finished object to show you and a lot of progress on my whips from vacation. If you watched my first episode, cheers, by the way. I hope to do better at the camera. I've forgone, I'm living on the edge. I did not put my yellow post-it note over the camera to remind me to look at the camera. I'll see if I can do better without it. It's another beautiful hot summer July day here, so I am still on the whites. I love a Riesling. So I got a nice chilled glass of Riesling today to lubricate the process. So I said at the end of the last video that I would not do an introduction because I didn't know if anybody was going to care. Apparently you did. The response to my first podcast has been frankly overwhelming. I am gobsmacked by the lovely comments and the subscribers and views and everything. I can't believe it. So I now have to do the promised introduction. My name is Nancy Wheeler. If you are a watcher of Stranger Things, you will know the name Nancy Wheeler. She's a main character. Name has become quite notorious over the last few years, and it's making it difficult to have an online presence under my own name because every time you Google Nancy Wheeler, you come up with Nancy Wheeler from Stranger Things. The irony is, in 1984, 5, and 6, when the show is taking place so far, I was not Nancy Wheeler. I was my maiden name, Nancy Kramer, so it's quite bizarre to see my 80s history, pop, music, cultural references with my married name and not my maiden one. Anyway, here nor there. So the other thing I got questions about was Wheels Wife. That's been my tag online until I realized I was going to be stuck with it, but I am stuck with it. My last name is Wheeler. My husband's nickname when he was in the Navy was Wheels. And if you know young 20-something guys, they don't really care about the wives. I was Wheels' wife. And it just kind of stuck. And when I was looking for a name, of course, all the fun Nancy knits were taken. So Wheels' wife it was because I felt under pressure. A little bit more about me. As I said, I live on the east coast of Canada. I have 2 grown children. We have no pets anymore, so it's just my husband and I living our best empty nest life. I'm very lucky. I get quite a lot of crafting time. We run a small business. It is a craft winery that makes wine, and I can talk about that another time if anybody is interested. But that's why Knit Sip Happy and wine is such a prevalent focus, because that's what I do for a living. We also do enjoy it very much. All right, I think that's enough of that. If anything else comes to me, I'll either wait for another episode or pop it in wherever. I'm running again without notes. I think that's better for me, so I'm not too obsessed about looking at notes. First things first, I guess. What am I wearing? Stand up a little bit. This is another summer tee. Oh, you're not going to get a very good view. Okay. This is the teaser, My Teaser by Jill Carina. This is knit up in Yarn Indulgence's Silk and Linen Fingering Blend, which is just luscious and drapey, and with the silk has a nice cooling feel. I did my usual bit of hip shaping on there, which is difficult to see because I can't get far enough away. Hang on a second. Let me move the chair. Maybe that would help. Oh, there we go. All right. So I've just kind of given my pear shape a little bit more space by doing those hip increases, which makes it super fluid and comfortable for the way I like to wear my clothes. It's not in the pattern. It was just a little modification that I did. Love it. The lace option, you can do the yoke longer. I chose to do the shorter yoke. I don't like my yokes down below my boobs. And it also made the lace not as low. It is still quite low, but I think wearing a skin tone bra, it's not really noticeable. that there's a lot of skin under there and the lace gives good coverage. So that's what I'm wearing. Hang on a second. Where was I? There. All right. Speaking of Jill Carina, I showed you this summer flirt cardigan on the last episode. You can still see it still has long sleeves. I was on vacation. I didn't want to chop and cut and splice. I need to because I really want to wear this. This pattern has now been released. I will link it in the description box below, and Jill has an amazing discount of 50% off, I believe till the end of July, so still lots of time to get it. I love it. Love it, love it. I just need to fix it so I can wear it. All right, now before I start getting into the podcast proper, I have forgotten to tell you who I am and where you can find me. Well, I've kind of told you who I am. So I am Wheels Wife on Ravelry and Instagram. All of the links will be below where you can find me. I will also have links to the patterns I'm talking about, and it worked out pretty good last time, so I'll probably be putting in pictures up either side, depending where they fit. So right now I'm going to insert the video that I recorded before I went on vacation to show you what I was taking and where everything was at. Hello, it is Saturday, July 1st. This is just a little blurb I'm going to tuck into the next podcast. I am packing for vacation. I talked about that in episode 1. We're taking a driving vacation to the next province over, Old Quebec City, and I have got a pile of plans to my right. My husband Brad watched the first podcast, and he won't be horrified. He is expecting now a large bag, and he's going to get a large bag. I'm taking this rather epic canvas shoulder bag that I'm going to fill with project bags. So these are the plans, and on the podcast, it's going to be coming in a little bit, I will show you what I actually worked on. So first thing is in Marjorie, my lovely Eldenwood Crafts bag, I tucked my orbits. I showed you this on the last podcast. So I am in the colorwork yoke section. I'm not sure how practical it is with charts, and it's a big bag. Anyway, I'm taking it because pulling it out of that basket last week when I showed all of you guys just reignited my passion for that project. So that's number 1. Number 2, another one I already showed you in my Mishnah, gorgeous tweed bag, is Naveen. I haven't touched it since I showed you guys last time. I've been trying to get some other things done and also get some things on the needles. So this is Naveen. Actually, I'm lying to you. Here I am. I'm telling you fibs again. I did actually get it joined in the round is the word I'm looking for. I have joined in the round and separated for the sleeves. Still looks like a big pile of turquoise yarn, but I've got sleeves on my knitting cords, and I have joined that V-neck in the front. So that is perfect for round and round car knitting. This is the A-line sweater with some eyelets, so there will be a little bit of patterning, but it'll be an easy driving project so I can concentrate. Here we go again, camera, not screen. The next I've got wool on my lips. Next sock project is my new yellow fringe field supply bag. I am knitting a sample. Excuse me, it's still there. I'm knitting a sample for Deborah Yarn Indulgences in her new MCS Merino Cashmere Silk blend. I had never worked with this base before. This, I believe, is Lupin colorway. I will confirm that when I actually record the podcast. It's a new yarn base for Deborah, so she needs a booth sample, and I offered to knit one, and I have started Dotted Rays by Stephen West. Dotted Rays has been in my library probably for 3 or 4 years, and I have never gotten around to knitting it. I've got 2 skeins of this MCS, beautiful big eyelets already, and I'm doing a few short rows. So I just wanted to get it on the needles and started so I know where I am, and again, driving or evenings in the hotel. So that's that bag. Now we're on to socks. So I had talked about what I was going to knit for my son's partner with the multiple cats and the dog and need hard wearing yarn. So I pulled some Stroll Tweed Atlantis Heather out of my stash. It's a nice soft squishy sock yarn, but it'll hold up fine to washer and dryer. And I don't have too much to show you. Boy, balancing these bags is a little trickier than it looks, all you professional podcasters. So I've started it again. I just wanted to get it established. This is one of my designs that's coming out. I'm working along with my testers. I'm doing the 72 stitch. It's just a nice, fun cable, little cable without a cable needle and just plain on the back. It's called Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. It'll be coming out to the middle of July. Testers still have it. So I like to knit along with them just for fun. So that's a nice, easy, just a little bit of texture every now and again. Nothing too crazy. And this is another sock design, and I'm not going to beat it with it like a dead horse. This is in Yarn Indulgence's Deborah, her new BFL sock base in the color Recollections. To me, this looked like a flower garden with the greens and the tones. So this is also a new design called the Garden Fence socks. This one is this is my first samples. This is the first bit I'm knitting, but I just thought it looked beautiful in this yarn with the purples and the greens and the pinks and the blue. I'll get out of the shadow of the camera there. Anyway, so that's another simple textured sock. As I said, that's how I like my socks. With lots of rest rows in between and just a little something to keep the interest. So I've got that in a nice little bag that from Chestnut Fibers. Makes a really nice bag. She's here on the East Coast that I can just stuff in a bag if we're out and about for the day. And I forgot to show you the other bag. This is by Paradise Island. One of her canvas bags. Just a nice little squishy sock bag that I can throw in another bag if we're out and about for the day. So I can knit during lunch while we're waiting for food to arrive at a restaurant or whatever. And the last thing I'm taking for a, let's be clear, 5-day trip is housed in this beautiful bag made by a friend of mine. She is a spinner, knitter, weaver. This is what Viv does on Instagram, and she gifted me this beautiful bag and I cherish it. In here I have not cast on. This is the emergency project. This is that skein. Oh, hello, I'm matching. This is the skein of the handspun that I showed you. 3-ply sock weight merino nylon, and I just shoved one of my little 9-inch circular Chowgu needles in there. Again, just in case I need a quick vanilla, small circumference, round and round project. I don't know if I'll do any kind of texture or pattern on this. I may just do vanilla. Speaking of the teal number I'm wearing, it is the Cedar Pullover by Joji Locatelli. And I will show you that in better detail on another podcast, but that is what I'm wearing in one of my favorite deep teal, petrol-y blue kind of colors. So that's it. That's it for vacation plans. I'm going to shove all of that into that canvas bag, put it in the back of the car, and then I've got lots of options depending what I'm in the mood for. Enjoy the rest of the podcast. All right, the promised try-on of my Sunshine Coast. I haven't tried it on. I've been on vacation and just didn't want to face it. But the reality, I think, is here. I'm going to stand up and show you what I'm talking about. So the first thing that bothers me is this flashing right here, right across the boobs. I feel like the armpits are a little high. I think I need to go up a size and get some more raglan decreases or increases in there just to give me a better fit, and I just need a little more space. I'm feeling a little snug in here. I did overeat and overdrink on vacation, but still. So those were the lofty plans and goals. The only finished object that I have are the socks. One pair of the socks. I was showing you pretty light pale colors for my son's partner. I decided to go with something a little darker, a little easier to hide the crap and corruption in their house. They're 20 something. So this is a pair. I have two done. This is knit in Knit Picks Stroll Tweed Atlantis Heather, and I used my own pattern. I test knit this along with my testers. I knit the 72 stitch with a shorter leg and foot to fit her best. So I'm going to talk about this pattern. This is called Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. I will talk about that more at the end of the podcast. I don't want to bore you with it if you're not interested. Stay tuned if you like the looks of it, and I'll talk more about it at the end. These were a great project. They were in a little project bag, and I shoved them in my tote bag or backpack for out and about knitting through the day while we were waiting for restaurants, or if we were sat having a water break and just enjoying some scenery. I would throw a couple of rows on here and there, and got them done between that and the drive. So that's it for finished objects today. Next, we're going to go into things that I'm working on. Okie dokie. So take two on the whips. You've just seen what I took with me on vacation and what the big plans were. Who was I kidding? But again, in my Mishnock bag, I've got Naveen, which is in Illimani Sabri, which is a cotton alpaca blend. It's this beautiful V-neck t-shirt. And so I've separated for the sleeves. I can't remember where it was because I haven't watched the video since I recorded it. I've separated for the sleeves, and I'm working down the body. So what's happening here, it's hard to show on the shorter needle. On the back panel is columns of eyelets on each side of the back. I'm hoping you can hear me through the sweater. So there's eyelets. So what's happening is it's giving that beautiful A-line shape. So right now it's a lot of stockinette with the occasional eyelet, which it was perfect for vacation knitting as well when I was out people watching while my husband had a little siesta. So this is coming along really nicely. I don't know how many more of the eyelets I have to do. Maybe I think a handful more, and sleeves, and this will be done. Truth be told, I could have had this done if I hadn't got sidetracked by another project. So just to give you a refresher, this is Illimani Sabri. This is the yarn in the cake. Kind of on-brand color for me in this turquoise. And I drop the sweater, shove it back in the bag to try and mitigate the mess that's going to be on my floor. The other garment I took with me on vacation, you will have seen in that little video, was my Orbits. And this has just been a joy to knit. I really focused on this, not by choice, that's a wrong phrase. Anyway, I got a little bit addicted to it again and remembered, and I just love this color combination. And again, I'll just refresh your memories on the yarn. It's Sweet Skein of mine, merino nylon in Being Boho, and a skein of my handspun, making this fun combo. So I hadn't separated for the sleeves when I had left, so you'll have seen where I was, and this is where I have gotten to. So I've never done a colorwork sweater that has colorwork on the sleeves and on the body after it's been separated. So that was, I needed to be wide awake and coherent to be able to make sense of the instructions. But oh my word, she's glorious. I'm trying to put it down because I really want to get Naveen finished, because that I could wear for the next couple of months. I won't be able to wear this. It's maybe September, October. It doesn't make sense to keep pushing through this one, even though I'm really loving the knit. Naveen is nice too, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great stockinette, but the color work right now is just, oh, so good. This is being housed in Marjorie, my gorgeous, look at the camera, Nance. Must be time for a drink of wine. All right, Marjorie, my sheep bag from Eldenwood Craft, is holding Orbits. I may take this out of my daily knitting basket and just hide it away, so maybe I focus on things I should be. It's a craft. We're supposed to enjoy it. We'll see. Stay tuned. The other thing that got a lot of work, you'll have seen it in the vacation knitting video. This wasn't started last time. Was it started? I started it before I left, just to kind of get the cast on done. I'm talking about Stephen West Dotted Rays. I'm knitting it in Yarn Indulgences. It's a new base called Merino Cashmere Silk Base, and this is colorway Lupin. This is a new line of yarn that Deborah is bringing into the shop, and it's quite frankly scrumptious. So again, I'm on a too small needle, but I've had this pattern in my queue forever, but got these lovely holes and the short rows, and yeah, it was a really enjoyable knit. The only thing, I keep overshooting where I'm supposed to stop for the short rows, but it was a great vacation knit because it's just lovely squishy garter. So that is Dotted Rays. It is living in my new to me bright yellow fringe field bag. What else have I got? I had another sock on the needles that I showed you. This is going to be a new design. It's going to be really fast, but I have turned the heel on this one. Oh, I should maybe put it on a blocker. Hang on. Okay. So this segment is brought to you by Yarn Indulgences. This is Yarn Indulgences has another new base, a BFL sock base. And I just love it. It is toothy, but squishy. It's not rough. It's just got a nice feel that these socks are going to last. So I'm in the shadow of the phone again. I apologize for that. So this is a textured sock. I have turned the heel. I have done a fun little garter edged heel flap. And yeah, that is in the works. Just one of those done. I was focusing on when we were out and about, and I only had room for one little project bag in the tote bag we were carrying around. I took the green socks for my my partner's girlfriend, my son's girlfriend / partner. The other thing I will have shown you in the vacation video, no change. I did not cast on this gorgeous handspun. We were walking miles, so knitting time was really a little bit at lunchtime, and then late afternoon, and then evening when we got back to our hotel room. So my What Viv Does lovely handmade bag with that yarn still in it. That will be my next sock cast on, but it is still just hanging out in the bag. Okay. Am I zipping along here? I don't want to go too long on those because you've already seen them in the first little intro video. Okay. Let's talk about handspun. There was some interest in that. It is Tour de Fleece. I haven't spun a whole lot because I was away and I didn't want to take any of my wheels with me. I do have, hang on a second. Oh, I don't want to knock over the wine. Okay. I put this little basket together just so it would be easy to grab. So I have, I think I mentioned last time, don't look at the screen, look at the camera. Hi. Okay, I've got a couple of finished skeins to show you and a current spinning project to show you. So this is the fluff. This is a merino bamboo nylon blend. I have the tag here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Apologies. This is from the Fiber Imp. She's a Canadian maker. So I am spinning this on my nano electric spinning wheel. So if you've never seen this wonderful little gadget, this is a spinning wheel. You can plug it into a wall. I run it off a big battery system, and I can just sit and spin on the couch if I don't want to get up and actually treadle. The nice thing about this nano eel wheel is I can spin incredibly fine. This is going to be a 3-ply for socks. Of course it is. This is the first finished bobbin. And I don't know if you can see, I do like to spin my singles quite fine. I think this is going to be super fun. I'm going to 3-ply this. There's no planned color assignment. I just divided it into 3 to spin 3 different bobbins, and I will apply it all together, and I will love it when it comes out because I always do. So that's the current spinning. I'll show you in acquisitions. I'm really keen to get that one finished or crack out one of my other wheels because I picked up some fiber. The other thing, I think I mentioned these last time, but I don't think I showed you. This one is a handspun that I just finished. So I had washed and skeined it up, I think, since I had seen you. Lots of blues and greens and a little bit of natural in there to give me that fun barber poling. So this is a fingering sock weight. This is from Yarn Indulgences. She's got a scrumptious merino nylon base. The hot pink are just ties to keep the yarn in check, if you're wondering. Doesn't make it look very nice, but it does keep it in control. So that's one hand spun. Another one, I had gotten a new wheel. I didn't bring it in to show you. I got the bigger eel electric wheel, the EEW6. It's got 8-ounce bobbins on it, and I wanted to do a chain ply on it. This is 150 grams of the Fiber Imp again. I don't have the tag, but I think it was a merino silk. Totally on brand for me for my colors, greens and blues. This was a new wheel and I was experimenting. So this has come up quite thick for me. Chain plying as well also gives me different results, but this is definitely a DK on the worsted side. So I imagine 150 grams is probably a cowl or something for someone for Christmas. This is washed, the twist is set, and it's ready to go into my stash until I decide what I'm doing with it. So spinning dreams, I'm going to move this down. Stop looking in the screen, look at the camera. It's distracting because I'm showing you things and I have to make sure it's in frame, and then I just keep looking at myself. Hang on. Okay. So I have an acquisitions section today. First things first, because we're talking about fiber. Ooh, the light just changed. Okay. I'm not going to take it out of the scrunchy packaging, but this is Sweet Skein of mine, who is the lovely Amanda. We went up to Fredericton yesterday. Deborah from Yarn Indulgences, Manon from La Violette. We met up with Amanda for lunch yesterday in Fredericton and had a nice afternoon. I had a couple glasses of wine because of course I did. This is Amanda's Corriedale fiber dyed. So the plan with this is to spin up the singles and then 2-ply them together with each other. I think that'll make a super fun, delicate, pretty yarn. So as I said, I'm itching to get that on the wheel. I still have another third and a bit of the fiber imp. I'm just going to put that down so it doesn't rattle anymore. I want to get that fiber imp finished first and start plying that, and then I can start a new set of singles. I like to finish things. I'm not one to leave things lagging. It stresses me out. I don't like to have too many things on the needles, which is why another reason why I think Naveen is going to kind of come up on the list for me, because I know I can get that one done quickly. Socks I care about less because I always have socks on the needles. I'm looking at my stash. I do have a little bit of Christmas knitting that I like to get done early. In December, I have a Knits for Nancy plan every year. I don't knit for anybody else in December. I just knit for me. I have a whole bunch of fun cast-ons. Sometimes it's Advent projects and sometimes it's garments, but I don't knit for anybody else. That's my Christmas present to myself. No stressful knitting. So my friend Julie, who is Twin Stitches Designs, has an online yarn store, and I had to drop some things off to her to visit her a couple of weeks ago, and I had to have a little shop in her shop. I'd only seen a lot of these yarns online, and wanted to support her, so I've picked up a few things, and I will show you what I've got. So the first is Polka Dot Creek. So this is a sock set. As we get closer to Christmas, I'm not a big Christmas fan. I've worked retail a lot of years, and working retail sucks the Christmas joy right out of you. So I'm not a big red-green fan, but I'm a big fan of gingerbread. So this is the gingerbread sock set with toffee and lipstick. I'm also a big fan of toffee. All right, so I got this Polka Dot Creek sock set. I'm not sure. This may be a giveaway when we get to 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe how close we are already to 1,000 subscribers. It blows my mind. My plan is, I think, is to send this off to some lovely person who has given me a chance as a newbie podcaster. Stay tuned. The other thing I got, Circus Tonic Handmade, is an Australian indie dyer. I have never seen her yarn in person. Stop looking at the camera. Maybe if I hide my face. So this is her Jubilee sock base. The colorway is Moon Glow. I got 4 skeins of this for a garment of some sort. Have no idea what, but I got 4 skeins. I wanted to support Julie. I've never tried this yarn before, and as we talked about, I love a fingering weight yarn. I also don't have a lot of colors like this. I tend to skew quite green, blue, but I do need some other things in my wardrobe. So I got that from Julie. I also grabbed, here we go, be surprised. Oh, look. Blue-green fingering weight yarn. This is Emily C. Gillies, I'm not sure, sorry about that. This is merino sock, 80/20 merino nylon, 420 yards. This will be a pair of socks in the future because look at it. Oh, and the other thing I grabbed from Julie, I have never tried a solid wool wash. I use Soak as my favorite. I'm not a fan of Eucalan because I don't like eucalyptus scented. I just don't enjoy their scents as much. I tend to like a citrusy, fruity smell. And this puts me right in because this is, oh goodness, mango and peach wool wash. I haven't tried it yet. It's put it away in a bag to show you for the podcast. Yeah, so unintentional acquisitions. When I went to visit Julie, I had no intention of buying yarn, but I was surprised to see there was still Circus Tonic Handmade in her shop, and I had to have some. All right, what is next? I feel like we've really rattled through this. I think what I have, look, I still have tons of wine. We'll fix that. The only thing I have left is to talk about the sock pattern that I just released today. So if you're not interested in socks, sock knitting, having a look at patterns, I completely understand. This is not a hard pitch or a hard sell of any kind. I just want to show off another side of my creative endeavors, which has turned into designing sock patterns. So if you're not interested, I will say goodbye and I will see you again. Hopefully, probably, I'm looking at the way I knit. I'm thinking it's going to be about 3 weeks between each episode. If I have more to show you, it'll be sooner. It could be 4 weeks. We'll have to see how things go. But anyway, I digress. Oh, it's getting hot in here. I had to close the door. My husband is around today. I opened up the blind in the window behind you to get the beautiful light and close the door so I don't have access to the air conditioning anymore. And whew, or it could be a wine-induced hot flash. That's also an option. Okay, so those of you who stuck around to talk sock design with me, my new pattern that just came out today is July 13th. This is the Smoke Gets in Your Eyes sock pattern. I showed you briefly on the last episode. I don't want to cram this stuff down your throat. This is a great textured sock pattern. I knit this in Ginger Snap Dust Fingering Base in their Spark colorway. And doesn't it just look like smoke with flecks of embers shooting up into the sky? It is on Ravelry and Love Crafts. I will leave the links below if you're interested. Until Thursday, July 19th, all of the proceeds, I charge $5 for my $5 Canadian for my sock patterns. You Americans get quite a deal with that. All of the funds, all of the proceeds from this pattern will be donated to our local hospice. And I have tagged it in my Instagram posts. I like to, the first week, all of my sock patterns so far, I have donated all of the proceeds to a charity I feel is worthy. And this time it is one of my favorites. It is our local hospice that do such great work for end-of-life care for those who need it. So the Ginger Snap, I should show you the tag for that. They very kindly gave me yarn support when I was at Knit City, Montreal. I'd only released one pattern at that point, and I was completely stunned when they offered me that. I'm like, am I worthy of this? Total imposter syndrome, because I'm just having fun. I love knitting socks. I know what I like in my socks, and this was just the next step for me. And if I can raise a little money for charity in the process, two thumbs up. I will leave the link below to Ravelry and Love Crafts for this and some more details. If you're on Instagram, you're probably already seeing it. I am blasting Instagram right now with lots of stories and reels and posts talking about this sock. This is also the reason I started the YouTube channel. This is a little texture. It's a 1/2 cable. I love to do short, small cables without a cable needle. It's got a fun rhythm to it. So I started this YouTube channel to post a tutorial that is linked for this pattern. And then I thought, well, I have the channel set up. I've always wanted to podcast. What the hell? Let's give it a whirl. So this is why you have me on your screen right now. So the pattern is written and charted. There's a video tutorial on how to knit this without a cable needle. If you want to use a cable needle, go right ahead. Works just as well. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. Socks. All right. As I keep saying, I feel like I've really rattled through that. I don't know if it's because I'm better or I didn't have enough wine to slow me down. I'm going to insert the footage I mentioned earlier, and at the end here I'm going to put a little Quebec City vacation vibe in there for you as well, if you wanted to check that out. I hope you're having a great summer if you are watching this still in the summer. Happy knitting. Cheers. Look at the camera.